Hi, I'm here. This is Shirley from Shirley's World, and I usually come on Sundays and Wednesdays, both at 4 o'clock. Sundays are when I do the What Sold videos, what sold in the previous week, and Wednesdays are usually just whatever comes up. Today, it happens to be, hi Bumblebee. Today, I really don't have a subject. So usually on those days, we just have tea together. Bumblebee, do you have your tea? Yeah, my sister can't be here on Wednesdays anymore because of bingo. She works at the bingo hall and they just started up again. So I'm thinking, and I have not really gotten any new followers, I don't think, on Wednesdays, mostly because I never have a subject to talk about. So I'm thinking maybe I should either change the day, but I'd rather change the time. So I'm thinking of maybe doing it in the evening. I know several of the YouTubers do like evening videos. I'm talking about 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night would be my time. So if I would do a 9 o'clock video, anything further west than me, and I'm in the Eastern Standard Time, anything west of me would be earlier. So it would have to be, like 9 o'clock for me. If I can hold up that long, that late, usually I'm not feeling I'm so tired by that time, but that's okay. I can sit here and talk. Let's see, what has happened? Well, I just cut my bangs this morning, and now I see they're not exactly straight. But that's how you get into trouble, and you try to straighten them up. Then you end up with bangs up to here. So I'm just going to let them alone. Yes, as far as my teeth problems, I go back to my regular dentist on the 22nd or 23rd, 22nd, I think. This allows all this time for healing of the ones that were removed, and then they do impressions and start making the denture. And then when that's all done and ready and sent to the oral surgeon, then I can go to, you have iced tea? I love iced tea. Today I have hot tea, but this is my mug that I got. I ate the cake already. I had a piece of chocolate cake. Yeah, they make the denture, send it to the oral surgeon, and then they make an appointment to have the rest out, the front teeth out, and then the denture put right in. So I really am not looking forward to that part, especially I'm not looking forward to being on antibiotics again. Not only is that really hard on my system, but because I hardly ate anything for a week or so. I should have been drinking, I was drinking water, but maybe I was drinking too much water. At any point, when I went to the doctor and had my blood drawn, my electrolytes came back all screwed up. My sodium was I think 122. I think the lowest it should be down to is 135 is the low end of normal. So he called me and he had me come right in, and he was thinking of putting me in the hospital. But he says, go home and drink lots of Gatorade and whatever and come back. So I had to go back like 3 days later and have my blood redrawn again. It came up a little bit. So he said it was headed in the right direction. So then I went back again to have the third draw, and now it's up to 133. So he says, that's fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. So the thing that brought it up, if this ever happens to you, but I don't know why it happens to me. I don't understand it. I've been hospitalized for this before, low sodium. I don't know why it happens, but how can people fast? I mean, fast and not eat or drink anything but water and not have their electrolytes get all messed up. I don't understand it. But anyway, mine are back up to pretty much normal. The things that have the most salt in, I'll tell you, I think I said this the other day, Gatorade helps, but Gatorade doesn't have near the sodium as canned soups. Canned soups have a tremendous amount of sodium in. The regular ones don't, not the low sodium, of course. And another thing, Ritz crackers that go with my soup. I love Ritz crackers, so that was good. And what else? Oh, regular Stouffer's dinners. Not any healthy stuff. I'm talking about regular Stouffer's dinners, like their turkey and their meatloaf and whatever. Yes, I did eat the meatloaf. It's so good, but I don't eat red meat. So that probably some of the cramps I had afterwards was from that, but it had a tremendous amount, 900 milligrams of sodium in that dinner, that little dinner. All it is a little meatloaf and mashed potatoes. That's it. 900, and all this gravy, of course. 900 milligrams of sodium. You're done with your antibiotics. So happy to be starting and feeling good again. Yes. Yeah, the antibiotics are so hard on your body. Did you take probiotics when you were taking? I was taking probiotics the whole time, and that probably stopped it from from me really having the runs. Excuse me. But that's what it does to everybody. And my sodium I would have been hospitalized for sure. I'll put this up so I can read it. Today I had to get my eyes dilated for flashes of light in your left eye. So that was lots of fun. Can you see again now? Thankfully, everything is okay with your eyes. Oh, that's good. They were wondering if it was from the antibiotics. Oh my. Huh. I wonder. I never heard of that before. Yeah, they always check my eyes for the macular degeneration because my father had that. Yes, you were on probiotics. Yeah. Yeah, I think that helped quite a bit, but it didn't, it still went down. If I would have really, once you start feeling crummy from the antibiotics, you don't feel like eating. That's what happened to me. And then I didn't eat enough. I didn't eat even when I could eat. You know, I could have been eating chicken broth and stuff like that at first. Now I can pretty much eat anything. my gums are healing enough that I can pretty much eat anything. I can't chew very good, but anything soft. I'm enjoying food up until this next surgery, because after that, I know I'll never taste correctly again with a denture in. So you look like a doe-eyed Japanese anime character. Are you squinting? Oh. Oh dear. Yeah. Well, I went out to the barn to visit Echo, but unfortunately, well, fortunately for him, he was way out in the pasture. He never even could see me because they were way out there. So I didn't get to see Echo at all. I went to give a check to the girl that helps me take care of the horses, but she refused to take anything for last month. She was there the night preacher went to heaven, and she stayed there with me the whole time because she's been taking care of my horses too. She does stall cleaning for Sarah, and her name is Sky. And she's so nice, and she wouldn't let me pay anything for last month. But anyway, I'll have to go on a day where it's going to be rainy all day. Today it started out being rainy, but then it got okay, and I don't think it's supposed to rain anymore. I haven't really looked at the weather, but I had this to do, so I couldn't go this afternoon. But I will go on a rainy day or a day it's supposed to rain, and so I can put hands on Echo, play with them in the arena, and yeah. Oh, with the dilated pupils. Oh, yeah. Or maybe the Thai stuffed animals. Yeah. They all look surprised, don't they? I finished listing everything I had from the box, thread up box. I don't quite know what to do about that faux leather jacket. I may put it on, like you suggested, Bumblebee, at a low price and suggest patches. I may just try that. I mean, why not, right? And but I have a box from, I don't have it yet, but I ordered a box, like I said, from Rockstar Flipper and Star from Flippin' Hippos. They are together on this, the two couples. They got that huge amount of inventory, truckload, and they're boxing it up and selling it to resellers. So I bought a box because he had 25% off. I can't stand to let a sale go by. So that's coming, but I don't know when it's coming. Right, I think the same evening that I ordered it, the label was made, and it said it was, going to be on its way, but that doesn't mean it's really going to be on its way. That's like StreamYard does, I think. If you make a label, it sends out a message to your buyer, but that doesn't mean it's gone to the post office and it's really on its way yet. It just means a label's been made. So I don't know when it'll come. It'll be a surprise whenever it does. And I'm keeping my eye on ThreadUp to order something maybe different. This box from Rockstar is all bottoms, anything bottoms. Could be skirts, shorts, jeans, pants, anything. How hard are you working, Dex, these days? He looks exhausted. He just flops down, and I swear, 2 minutes after he flops down, he's snoring. You're still working on my box. My goodness, it must have been changed 3 or 4 times by now. Don't be so picky and just send it. Anyway, yeah. I just ordered, what did I order today online? Pasture grass. I ordered, we've been having this nice rain, and I'm out of grass seed to overseed where my chickens graze. And I'm thinking, what a nice, I could scrape up the soil a little bit. It's so easy when it's so wet, and just throw down some seed, but I didn't have any more. So I ordered 3 pounds of pasture grass. I had Aldi deliver groceries yesterday, but I still have to order some things that I couldn't get from them from Giant Eagle. I may do that later today. The chickens are starting to molt. That means they get really rough looking. They lose feathers and big patches of feathers, and there's feathers all over the place. I'm starting to see them. So when chickens molt, they don't lay eggs. So I noticed, yesterday I had 2 eggs out there. That's it. So probably they are just you're just trying to get it pressed and packed. Okay. No matter what, Bumblebee, your box is always beat any other boxes that I get. So I always sell the most of your things. Oh, I just sold something that's on Poshmark. It wasn't from the party this morning either. That was the Zara party. This was that pair of Massimo men's jeans. I think that was from the ThreadUp box. I don't think that was yours, Bumblebee. I think it was from the ThreadUp box, because I wouldn't have bought it. So most likely it was that pair of gold right back there, gold colored jeans. So they wrangled the price around with me, but I sold them for $18, and I think they were on eBay marked down to $22, so that's not too much under that. And Massimo, what is Massimo? Target, I think. I think it's a Target brand. But I'm starting to think Target brands, people like Target things. So I'm thinking I'm going to, if I ever do get back to Goodwill or the thrift stores, I will shop a little differently. I will get those, maybe the Target brands. And yeah, that was ThreadUp. Yeah. Yeah, they do. That's what everybody says. The Target has a following. So yeah, I've run across Target brands before that I haven't bought, but I guess I'll just start buying them when I get out. And there are Target brands that come in the ThreadUp boxes too. And I bet there'll be those type of things in Rockstar's box too. I think those are all bread and butter brands that are coming. That's what they call them in that box. So I'm just anxious to see a new box and see what it is. Yeah, the dollar sale. That's only the dollar Goodwill one is only in Strongsville, that one by where I get my hair cut. Which reminds me, I have got to call and get an appointment to get my hair cut before I have to go in for that last surgery. Now, these bangs are bothering me because they look a little short. I cut them a little bit too much. They grow so fast, though. Yeah, that dollar, I should go on Sundays because it's Sundays and Mondays. I never get there before Monday, and I still get things for $1. So the trouble is Sundays are probably crowded because Mondays when I go, there's hardly anybody in that store. But we'll see. I'll try it one of these Sundays and see what the parking lot looks like. My daughter has gotten an offer from an old friend of hers to do the computer work for a business that he is starting because she wants to get out of the working in the bar. She's a bartender and has been for years and years and years, but with this COVID stuff, bars are the worst place to be. I hate her to go to work and she doesn't really want to do it. So I think she's trying her best to get out of that altogether right now, since this virus doesn't seem to be going anywhere really. And who knows how long life will be different. So I think I can't see life ever getting, that's how I feel. I don't think life will ever be back what used to be normal. Maybe years and years and years down the line, but not real soon. I ran across I was looking through some old books and I ran across an old golden book. This was mine, or this might not have been mine. This might have been one I picked up because this was my favorite little story when I was little, The Pokey Little Puppy. And even though this looks all worn and old, this isn't like an original one. This first copyrighted in 1942, which happens to be the year I was born. But that's not when this one was. This was from renewed in 1970. So this might be from 1970. It's still old. I mean, it's still vintage, of course. It's in not good shape, and I'm not going to sell it because it's my little book of the Pokey Little Puppy. There are, I ran across one, I don't know, a couple weeks ago on YouTube when I was just looking around at miscellaneous things. There are people that go on and read books. They read chapters of books, and I bet there's somebody on there that reads children's books. You could start a YouTube channel of just going on and reading to a little one, a little story. I have the whole series of Beatrix Potter's bunny books. You know, it's all kinds of. It's not just Benjamin Bunny, and it's not just those ones that are familiar. It's a whole series. I think there's 12 little books. I have it in there. I hate to sell it. This little series. It looks so nice in my breakaway cupboard. But I don't know. Maybe someday I will. Your favorite was Goodnight Moon. I've seen that book in Goodwill, because I look at children's books. I love books too. Even though I used to read a lot more than I do now. I listen to Audible books now because I started falling asleep too easily when I would read. So that's why I started getting the Audible books. So, but yeah, I read mostly mysteries, and my mother, my sister isn't here, but my mother used to read to us every night as when we went to bed when we were little. And she read the Bobbsey twins. That's what she read to us. I mean, the old first versions of the Bobbsey twins. They've changed now to be correct. But she would read us a chapter or two, whatever, how long they were, before we go to bed at night. And I think that's mostly what she read. I can't remember reading anything other than Bobbsey twins. And there were lots of series, Bobbsey twins. And then I went on, as I grew up and could read myself, I read Nancy Drew. And then I read, when I wanted to be a nurse, I read Sherry Ames nurse books, those books all about how nursing isn't. Yeah. There's all, in the Cherry Ames books, there's always mysteries going on and falling in love with the doctor and all this stuff that isn't anything like real life. So I don't think, I had already wanted to be a nurse. I don't think that's why I wanted to become a nurse, because heavens, I hope not. Yeah, I love the Bobbsey twins. I wish I could find the really, really old ones. You can find the remake of them, but they're not the same. You went to her museum in Massachusetts, Beatrix Potter? Complete with gardens. Oh, yes. Wow. I'm sure. I know. I have a Pinterest page on, it's not Beatrix Potter, but it's You Love Nancy Drew and Agatha Christie. Yeah. My mother read Agatha Christie all the time. Yes, Beatrix Potter. Yeah, who is the other one that I have all the Pinterest? I have a whole Pinterest page of her pictures in her gardens. She lived like she was back in the 1700s. She wore long dresses and didn't have electricity. What is her name? Her house looked like a house. Her son built her a house that looked like the houses were back in the 1700s. Yeah, she had, I think, little corgi dogs too, like the queen. She had she had chickens, of course, and I think she had goats. What else? But she'd have tea every day. Electric Jazz Cat, you're working on homework, but wanted to stop in and say hi. Thank you. You get back to your homework now. Oh, thanks for stopping by. I love your music. Bumblebee, you should do a recording of the little barbershop quartet, or the little band that your husband and your kids are in. I'd love to hear that music together somehow. Dexter, I fed Dexter half his dinner before I started this. My lawnmower guy just was here and left just before I started this, which is good because it's really noisy. I think I said on Sunday that they were building this big fence across the road. They came and finished it off. It's a huge wooden fence, like it would be a horse fence, like in a pasture. Beautiful wood fence. The Amish did it. And then I heard them back a couple days ago making all kinds of noise over there. And I was so hoping that a bunch of Amish would come back again and they'd start constructing a little barn or a stable. That would make my day if they got horses over there that I could see every day. Yeah, that would be great. She's an artist. She's an artist. She may have written too, but she was an artist. She drew the little animals mostly. Similar to the ones in the Beatrix Potter books. Yeah, if I could, I hate to, maybe on my phone, I could do it on my phone. I could find out her name because that's going to drive me crazy. If I can get to Pinterest here. My boards. I have boards all about everything on Pinterest. There she is, Tasha Tudor. Tasha Tudor, that's her name. Do you know about her? Yes, look her up if you don't. She's a very interesting person. She's not alive anymore, but no, not Grandma Moses. Tasha Tudor, Tudor. Tasha. Yes, the way she lived was, you never heard of her. Oh, you've got to look her up. Yes. Look her up and how she lived. her life. You'll like it. Yeah, so I don't know. I really should have subjects when I come on here on Wednesdays, because this is how not to increase your following. Yeah. I always have next to me now my bottle of Gatorade, so. Yeah, Grandma Moses was more landscape. Lindy Glenn, she comes on once a week on Mondays. Every Monday morning or afternoon she comes on. And she has things to talk about. I don't know. You know, when I try to think about things to talk about, I don't do it till like 15 minutes before this is starting. That's the problem. So I've got to become more prepared for these. Or do how-to videos. That's what draws people in when you do the how-to. What could I do a how-to video? I've done how to measure. I've done how to photograph. At least I've done some of me photographing. Inventory. I think I've done one on inventory. On packing. Have I done a shipping? Yes, I've done shipping ones. I could redo them, especially if they're really old ones. Oh, okay. I had to put a new battery in my mouse last night. My mouse wasn't working right. But it's all of a sudden the arrow would disappear and then appear someplace not where I'd put it. So that always means it just needs new batteries. So luckily that just takes a second. So I think I am probably going to shut this down for now. And maybe go photograph some more antique dishes and things. I do have things on my desk in the other room that I plan on photographing and listing. In the vintage, I have some dishes. And I just found that last trip that I made to Goodwill, remember I bought some plush and put them in a bag and set them over there by the light box and forgot completely about them. So I have all those, so there's not many, maybe six plush animals that I have to photograph and list. So I can do that the rest of the evening, and I'll have something to list tomorrow. I've listed this morning, I don't know, there were 5 or 6 things left for me to list in the box, and that's what I did this morning. So I'm going to close Bumblebee. We're the only ones here. I wanted, I know something you can explain to me. You probably already explained it to me, but I have every once in a while, like today or yesterday, somebody put an item in, made a bundle of one item in. And I need to get you a box. Yes, get me a box more often. if somebody makes a bundle of one thing, I don't know what to do with that. I keep waiting for them to put something else in there, because if they just put one more item in there, they get 20% off. Are they just waiting? You said they're waiting for me just to make an offer. Well, I don't understand how to do that from the page that you go to when they put it in there. I'm not quite. That may require a phone call and a thing for me to be able to do it online when you're talking to me. Or I need mini hauls. Yeah. Or tell more about the history of my life. Oh dear. Yeah, the phone. Yeah, I think that would be better for that. I don't know. All I'd have to do is to think of parts of my life is to go start going through my pictures. That's one thing I did organize in this house. You know, the regular pictures, hard copy photographs that we all used to have before the computer came along, and prints. So you can't imagine how many, probably like everybody, how many pictures I have, prints. So I got these photo boxes. They're like shoe boxes, and they hold, I don't even know how many, hundreds of, maybe 100 photos in each box, probably. I don't know. I never counted them. But they're all categorized. They're all, could be Florida in the early days, Florida in the later days, Jack and I in Canada, the horses, the dogs, the kids when they were little, vintage pictures, skiing, wedding pictures. They're all categorized in these boxes of photos. But the trouble is, when I go up and pull a box out, then I'm set for the day. I do nothing but I do nothing but look through these pictures then, which is usually not what I started out to do in the first place. But yeah, I love to look through old photos. Really takes you back. I just remembered one more thing upstairs I have to mend. Well, I have two things to mend. I have a little blouse I went to measure right there. And I noticed that one of the seam is coming apart on one of the shoulders. So I have to put a few stitches in that before I'm going to package it up. And then I had to sew on a couple buttons on that sweater. I couldn't find a silver button to match the one that was on it, so I'm replacing both buttons with two same size, but they're these black, shiny, sort of silvery black buttons. It'll go really good. So I have to do that, and then I can list that one sweater that's left. So enough of this. I'm going to close for now, and I will be back on here Sunday, hopefully having more. So far, my pile isn't very big here, so I'm going to have to do a lot of selling before. I only have, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to make my stack back bigger. And then Sunday, I'll be back. So have a good week. And hope everybody stays healthy. And I'm sure everybody there is doing what they're supposed to be doing. maybe I'll venture out again. Maybe I'll be brave and venture out again. I don't know. So I will see you next time. Bye.